Rodney Rescott with the clinch green flag in hand. Next time by, we're looking to go green flag racing here at the Speedway as red lights have been turned off. Race fans, get ready. The King of Dirt Sportsman Series. Look for Mr. Crate Track USA as the Team Gully Lebanon Valley Speedway pace truck going to power away from the rest of the field. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready as a shower of 602 crate power about to send a shockwave on the high banks of the Valley of Speed. Chris Curtis going to bring him up at turn number 3 and 4. Green flag is out on the Speedway. We are underway with Mr. Crate Track USA. Up through turn number 1 and 2 for the first time. Chris Curtis will be your race leader. Things shuffle a little bit midway through the pack. They're 3 wide back there as Jeff Watson working on the outside of Kevin Hoard for the number 5 spot. Michael Sabia right there. They're 3 wide. Rob Maxson shoots up the banking. We get around through the corner for the first time, and it will be Chris Curtis leading lap number 1 as we stay clean and green down the front straightaway. Curtis will bring him up through turn number 1 and 2. Robbie Knipe going to sit in the number 2 spot. Cody Bleau sitting in 3rd. The 09 of Connor Cleveland 4th. And right now rounding out your top 5 is the 22 of Jeff Watson as they work their way down into the west end. Field going to shake its way through as Chris Lynch and Whitey Slavin fighting for position midway through the pack up off of the corner. Chris Lynch up on the move early, looking to battle with the 14 of John Virgillio now as they work their way up for spot number 9. Here's Lynch to the inside trying to make a battle, but Virgillio going to shut the door down the backstretch. Your top 2 point getters knee deep in a battle as Connor Cleveland gives a shot to the back bumper of the 173 of Cody Bleau that time. He'll drop up on the inside lane as Bleau going to hold on the outside. He'll keep the number 3 spot, but now Jeff Watson going to join the fray as these 3 are right together. Watson trying to work the inside of the 09 of Cleveland. Watson sticks the left front underneath the berm, however. That's going to allow the 09 to get away down the back straightaway as Connor Cleveland continues to go to work on the 173 of Cody Bleau. Up through turn number 3 and 4 they go. Joey Scarborough shoots up the banking. That allows the 14 of John Virgillio to get by. He'll go to work on Kevin Hoard down on the front straightaway as he works his way up for spot number 7, trying to push his way through. They come off of the corner as Virgilio with a great look at him down the back straightaway as they look to go side by side down into the west end. Here's the 14 of Virgilio looking to shape things up through the corner. He'll ride him up the banking a little bit off of turn number 4 as a car out of shape up in 4. That is the 96 of Rob Maxson. He is out of shape slowing down the front straightaway, and as he looks like he's going to continue to slow, yellow going to come out onto the Speedway here 5 laps in to this 30-lap feature event for Mr. Crate Track USA. Maxson had to deal with a little bit of contact on lap number 1 of this feature event that sent him up towards the banking, and it looks like all power's gone away from the 96 machine down in front as he has coasted and stopped right in the middle of the front straightaway as we go under caution here with 25 laps remaining. Chris Curtis, your current race leader, right on the Cat Melts Lumber lap counter. Here in race number 4 of the 2016 season, we opened up out at the Albany-Saratoga Speedway. I apologize, at the Utica-Rome Speedway, where it was Rocky Warner picking up the win. Then we moved to the Albany-Saratoga Speedway, where Connor Cleveland dominated the 30-lap run out there. Then we moved to Lebanon Valley, where Kevin Hoard picked up the win in race number 3. Somebody looking to be the 4th winner here on the 2016 season as a part of the King of Dirt Series is Chris Curtis, going to refire up at turn number 3 and 4. We're going back to green flag racing. Up through turn number 1 and 2, the Sportsman fly. Chris Curtis back out towards the front. Here's Cody Bleau looking for a shot at Robbie Knipe down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, new 5th place man is Michael Sabia has snuck by the 22 of Jeff Watson. Sabia up on the move as things get a little jingly up through the corner. 3 wide battle behind. They come around as Frank Hoard Jr., Scott Duell, and Chris Lynch get together a little bit down the front straightaway. They'll remain clean and green though with lap number 6 going on the board. Connor Cleveland going to continue to work on the 173 at Cody Bleau down the back straightaway as they'll look to go side by side. Joey Scarborough has also now gotten by the 22 of Jeff Watson. He'll move up into the number 6 spot as they'll bring it up off of the corner this time. Here comes Scarborough battling to the inside. He's looking to get by Sabia for the number 5 position and crack it for the first time here in this feature event. The battle in front of him starting to heat up as well as Connor Cleveland might have been the deepest in the corner he's been so far in this Sportsman feature as the 09 machine going to continue to plug it to the inside one more time. They'll bring it off at turn number 4 as Cody Bleau holds on to the number 3 spot. But now Michael Sabia knows he's got to go. He sees Scarborough. He gets into the quarter panel of the 09 at Cleveland. That shakes things up a little bit as Joey Scarborough sees the daylight he needs up at turn number 2. He'll look to take the spot, but Sabia battles back on the top side. Wheel to wheel, door to door they go. Down the max straightaway, fighting into 3 and 4. Here's Sabia up on the top. The 38 of Scarborough still trying to battle back on the inside lane. Joey Scarborough trying to stay strong right there. But Sabia at that time at the line will hold on to that number 5 position. While this is happening, we'll have 10 in the books next time by as Chris Curtis continues to lead this one. His spots 3 through 6. Knee deep in a battle up through turn number 3 and 4, and Sabia has trouble. Something pops on a 7. He goes around out of Pierson, nowhere to go, and that's going to bring Yellow out onto the speedway. So Michael Sabia, who had a great run going, looked like something may have popped on the 7 machine, and that sent him around in between turn number 3 and 4, and that's going to bring Yellow out onto the speedway for the second time here tonight with just 20 laps remaining in this Sportsman feature event. Sabia comes by with a little bit of damage. Chris Lynch looked like he was involved as well. Sabia comes by with a little bit of damage. Chris Lynch looked like he was involved as well. Here as we have 20 laps to go. Mention the point standings coming into tonight's racing action on the King of Dirt Series. Connor Cleveland, your current point leader. He currently has a 26-point lead over Cody Bleau heading into tonight. 29 over David Schilling, who sits 3rd. 4th is Michael Sabia. That's going to be a tough hit for Sabia, who was 4th in points coming into tonight. Cody Hunt currently sits 5th. Kevin Chaffee 6th. Joey Scarborough 7th. Adam Pierson 8th. Tim Hartman Jr. 9th. And Jeremy Pitts rounds out your top 10 heading into tonight's racing action. Lap leaders heading into tonight. Connor Cleveland leads him with 30. Kevin Ward has 29 lead. Rocky Warner 3rd with 28 lead. Dave Marcachilli 4th with 2 lead. And Jeff Watson has led 1 lap so far on the season in Sportsman competition. Field going to come back together down the max straightaway. Still 21 laps remaining here in this Sportsman feature event. Mr. Crate Track USA. Chris Curtis going to man the outside lane one more time as they'll bring him off the corner. Green flag back out on the speedway. 21 more times around the Valley of Speed as we go back to green. Working it up through turn number 1 and 2. Here's Jeff Watson battling with the 09 of Connor Cleveland on the inside. They're 3 wide between John Virgillio, Whitey, Slavin, and Scott Duell down the back straightaway as the battle behind the top 3 really starting to heat up as here comes Whitey Slavin. Slavin going to work on the inside now as they come down the front stretch. He'll try to move past the 38 of Joey Scarborough, looking to crack the top 6 for the first time in this one. As the 53 works it to the inside, he'll try to find some momentum. Meanwhile, Jeff Watson going to work on the 09 of Connor Cleveland down the back straightaway. They'll work their way down into the west end as the 09 of Cleveland steps it up on the top side. Here comes the 22 working it underneath them as they race down the front stretch. Watson going to nose out ahead down the front straightaway. He'll have the number 4 spot as they come to the line. Joey Scarborough looking to follow, and then Whitey Slavin going to look to take it a lane lower underneath them. Cleveland and Scarborough have battled in the past in Sportsman competition as they currently sit in spots number 5 and 6. Working it up off by turn number 3 and 4. Scarborough really starting to pedal to the inside lane down the front stretch. Cleveland going to give them a shot down the front stretch as they work their way up into turn number 3 and 4. As it looked like Cleveland trying to switch lanes. That time Joey Scarborough going to try to pull a slide job on him. He'll make it stick and he'll move back into the top 5. Down the back stretch they ride here once again as the 14X of Scott Duell now looking to try to get past Connor Cleveland. He'll slide up in front of him, and it appears Cleveland may have some trouble on the 09 as he is starting to lose positions. Keep an eye on the tires on that Dean's Electric car number 09 machine. Up through turn number 2, the lead pack rides as the 35 of Chris Curtis continues to stay at the front of this one by about a quarter straightaway. Robbie Knipe still holds on to that number 2 spot. Working the outside is the 173 of Cody Bleau as he powers off at turn number 4 this time, trying to run down the 18 of Robbie Knipe. But he's got Jeff Watson right on his tails as well, as next time by, we're going to go to the halfway point. Behind them, though, Watson may have to look behind him. Here comes Joey Scarborough muscling his way up through the field. He'll look to take the number 4 spot away from Jeff Watson up into turn number 3 and 4. They're 3 wide off the corner coming off at turn number 4. Cody Bleau drops a couple of positions, and now that battle all of a sudden is for third. The 38 of Joey Scarborough pushing up on the inside, still working against Jeff Watson, and Cody Bleau loses 3 spots down the backstretch as we're at the halfway point. 15 are in, 15 remain as Cody Bleau hangs 1 spot out of a top 5 run. Is now Scott Duell up into the top 5 this time, trying to chase down as Watson and Scarborough continue to go at it down the front straightaway. As that time Scarborough with a little shot as he goes by, he'll slide up in front. Scarborough now up to third. Joey Scarborough with a great run going here as Michael Sabia comes down pit road in the West End Fish and Chips entry, trying to make it back out onto the racing surface. Meanwhile, the 35 of Curtis that time going to put lap number 17 on the board. 13 laps remaining here in this 30-lap feature event. And now Jeff Watson still going to try to battle to get by the 38 of Joey Scarborough as a car slows down the back straightaway. Then it's the 44 of Brandon Daley. Top 5 ride, single file, then Connor Cleveland and Cody Bleau battle right behind them. Then it's John Virgillio and Whitey Slavin fighting in the back half of the top 10. Looking to work their way up through the field now as rounding out your top 10 is the 20 of David Schilling. Coming down the front straightaway and up through turn number 1 and 2. That pack going to ride together strong in spots 5 through 10, but keep an eye on the battle for the number 2 spot now as Joey Scarborough really working hard. He'll push to the inside lane, up off of turn number 4 and battle with the 18 of Robbie Knipe off of turn 4. They touch coming down the front straightaway, but at the line, new second place man. That'll be the 38 of Joey Scarborough, but he's only got 11 laps to try to run down Chris Curtis, who has been out front for this entire time. Scott Duell gets a great run down the back straightaway, working on Jeff Watson down into the West End. Here comes Duell, going to look to slide up in front of him off of turn number 3 and 4 for spot number 4. He'll come off the corner. Scott Duell continuing to work up towards the front. Scott Duell started in spot number 15 in this feature event, and he's going for the number 3 spot up off of turn number 2, as he may have something for the 18 of Robbie Knipe before this one's all said and done, as this time by there will be just 9 laps remaining for Chris Curtis. Slower traffic dead ahead of your leaders now as the 88 of John Miller sits right in front of your race leader. Scarborough still sitting in the number 2 spot. Robbie Knipe holding on to third. Meanwhile, Yellow out onto the speedway as a car goes around up in turn number 2, and now Watson goes around after contact with Scott Duell on the inside of turn number 1 and 2. A turn of events now as John Miller on the outside lane in 1 and 2. Then you got Dan Lyle in between. And then Jeff Watson, who had a great run going, spins it to the inside, and he's he sits on the inside at turn number 1 and 2 with just 9 laps remaining. Chris Curtis has led this one so far, but the Burns Shucking Equipment number 38 of Joey Scarborough, well, you can definitely say he's got some swoop beneath the sheet metal so far in this 30-lap King of Dirt Sportsman feature event as he sits in that number 2 spot. Michael Sabia back down pit road, looking to make it back out and rejoin the tail end of the field here, as we have 9 laps to go here in this King of Dirt Sportsman feature event for the night, Mr. Crate Track USA. Team Go 11 Valley Speedway pace truck going to pull it in. Off at turn number 4, Chris Curtis going to power back off the outside lane. Green flag back out. 9 laps to go here in this 30-lap feature event as Chris Curtis going to work his way up through turn number 1 and 2. And now Scott Duell going to move up into the number 3 spot as he slides up in front of the 18 of Robbie Knipe. But now, ladies and gentlemen, the battle is on as here comes the 38 of Joey Scarborough. Scarborough going to work his way on the inside lane up through turn number 4 as they work their way down the front straightaway. They come right together now as it's only 2-car lanes separating first and second as they ride up into the east end. Scott Duell, who loves that outside lane more than anybody, trust me on that one, working it up on the top, trying to close in on your top 2. Robbie Knipe still sits in 4th, and a strong 5th place run going for the Greg's Towing and Repair, car number 173 of Cody Bleau, but John Virgillio going to send him under fire up off of turn number 4 that time as he gives a look-see to the inside. 23 in, 7 remain as Chris Curtis continues to lead this one. Joey Scarborough going to switch lanes and go to the top a little bit. Going to try to reel them in as they work their way down the backstretch. Car slowing up off of turn number 4. That is the 99 of Carmen Carnabucci. And he's not going to get off quick enough, and that's going to bring Yellow back out on the speedway with just 7 laps to go. Carmen Carnabucci with a right front flat tire as he comes down in front of pit road. Carnabucci, a veteran Sportsman campaigner out here on the Valley of Speed in that 95 machine. Seventh, Connor Cleveland 8th, Dave Schilling 9th, 10th is Kevin Ward. 7 laps left to go here in this Sportsman feature event as the 35 of Chris Curtis sits in the number 1 spot. Actually, it'll be 8 laps remaining here on the grid. Curtis going to bring him off at turn number 3 and 4. Green flag back out onto the speedway as we are back underway. Keep an eye on Scott Duell. He'll look to work it up on the outside lane to try to push past Joey Scarborough as they work it up through turn number 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. Duell with a great run off the corner. He'll close in on the back bumper as they work their way down the back straightaway. Joey Scarborough going to work to the inside. Scott Duell going to keep it up top as they fight for that number 1 spot behind Chris Curtis off at turn number 4. But Curtis will come back around and click off lap number 23, still as your race leader. Here's Scarborough diving to the inside one more time as they push off at turn number 2. They touch for just a second down the back straightaway. Here's Scott Duell trying to close in on the number 2 spot once again. Into the west end they will fly. The 38 machine really starting to pedal up off of the corner. Now Scott Duell with a great run on the inside, crosses over. New second place man at the line as Scott Duell has worked his way up from 15th to 2nd. He'll try to pull the electric slider on him off at turn number 2. Scarborough going to try to battle back, but Scott Duell with a great move pushes himself up into the runner-up position. But Joey Scarborough ain't done yet. He's working to the inside trying to fight back. Meanwhile, car almost up into the wall in 3 and 4. That is Whitey Slavin here as they come by with 5 laps remaining. 25 in, 5 to go for Chris Curtis, looking to lead them all out in the front. Joey Scarborough trying to get past the 14X of Scott Duell as Slavin into the wall hard up in turn number 2. Cars jingle around behind him, and that's going to bring Yellow out onto the speedway. And this may be a whole new ball game for Chris Curtis as Scott Duell now sits on the back bumper. Scott Duell wasted no time letting Chris Curtis know he's there. And ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you, are you ready for an old-fashioned 5-lap shootout out there? It's going to be a fun one here as track crews attend to the 53 of Whitey Slavin. Field continuing to work its way down the back straightaway as they set timing and scoring up as Chris Curtis leading the first 25 so far in this feature event. And folks, stay tuned, of course. We'll have our Red Line Graphics Victory Lane ceremony down there following this 30-lap Sportsman feature event. We'll go right into the drawing for our Drivers Point Fun 50-50 raffle, then get into our pre-race ceremonies for tonight's $17,500 to win Mr. Dirt Track USA. And boy, what a front row it's going to be tonight. Kenny Tremont on the outside of row number 1 with the Ravina Rocket. Keith Flack sitting on the inside. Going to be a lot of fun to see how that one will play out to determine the winner of Mr. Great Track USA here on the High Banks. Team Go 11 and Valley Speedway pace truck going to pull away from the rest of the field. Chris Curtis has led most of this event, but he's got a KG veteran in Sportsman competition riding right next to him in the Lazaro's Auto Body car number 14X machine. The driver going to work it up at turn number 3 and 4 as Curtis fires. We'll go back to green flag racing here. 5 laps to go. Scott Duell going to give him a run down the front stretch. We'll see what he can do up through turn number 1 and 2. Up into the corner for the first time off the restart. Door open on the inside, but Chris Curtis going to drive away, and here comes Joey Scarborough on the outside looking for the number 3 spot. The barrel down into turn number 3 and 4 is Curtis going to try to block the bottom. He'll slide up through the top. Joey Scarborough trying to power past him on the outside lane. Joey Scarborough back up to the number 2 spot here with just 4 laps to go. Up through turn number 2 they ride. Now once again as Chris Curtis still holds on to this one. The 14X of Scott Duell down the back straightaway, really starting to pedal to try to get into this. Now John Virgillio and David Schilling out into the top 5. The 14X machine of Duell rides it up on the inside lane. Up off at turn number 4. He'll look to close the gap here with just 2 laps to go. 2 laps remaining now for the 35 of Chris Curtis. As they'll work him up off the corner, here's Joey Scarborough with a head of steam down the back straightaway. Scarborough really going to send him under fire with a lap and a half remaining here in this one. Scarborough going to work it up on the top side. They'll bring him off at turn number 3 and 4. Watch and see as Scarborough crosses over. Nope, he'll stay up top as they come to the white flag. 1 lap to go from Rodney Rescott as here comes the 38 machine, but as that happens, Yellow out onto the speedway. Car up against the wall in turn number 4. As that is going to bring Yellow out, and ladies and gentlemen, 1 lap shootout coming for the Sportsman. '78 of Frank Hoard Jr. up on the outside of turn number 4.
Shootout. After this 1 lap is done, we'll be kicking it down trackside for the Victory Lane interviews. Mike Warren going to make his way down and get a few words with the winner of Mr. Great Track USA. At the conclusion of it, we will go directly into our Drivers Point Fun 50-50 raffle draw. And we got a little bit of pre-race ceremonies to go. Our invocation, Pastor Ed Harkins from Finish Line Chaplaincy, regular here with us each and every Saturday night at the Raceway. I know a lot of the folks on the Super Dirt Series who follow the series know Ed well. Ed was the traveling pastor, traveling chaplain for a number of years. But this is home for Eddie, and he's here with us tonight. And then we'll go into our national anthems as we'll honor our neighbors to the north and our great nation, and then get ready to go with tonight's Upstate GMC Hoosier Tire Mr. Dirt Track USA title event. Red lights are off around the speedway. Signal to the drivers are going to go green. The Team Go 11 and Valley pace truck takes the hard left-hand turn. We're going to go back to Mike Warren. 4 left-hand turns till checkers. We're back racing off turn 4.
Green flag back out onto the speedway, and oh baby, Chris Curtis gets in trouble as Scarborough gets into the back bumper up into turn number 1 and 2. That's going to allow John Virgillio to slide by down the back straightaway. They touch a little bit down off of turn number 2. Chris Curtis going to bring him up through the corner. Final time right into turn number 3 and 4. As they'll bring him off the corner, Tim Davis hits the wall hard. Meanwhile, checkered flag is going to be out, and I apologize, Yellow comes back out onto the speedway. This one is not over yet. Chris Curtis holding on to this one. Team Joey Lebanon Valley Speedway pace truck going to make its way through into turn number 3 and 4. Chris Curtis, Joey Scarborough, Scott Duell, John Virgillio. The top 4. 4 left-hand turns left to go. Curtis going to fire as they'll bring them down off at turn number 3 and 4. Green flag back out onto the speedway as they work their way down the front stretch. Up into turn number 1 and 2 they go. Joey Scarborough right there looking for the position. John Virgillio going to slide into third. Down the back straightaway as they work their way down for the final time. Scott Duell working on the 14 of Virgillio as they bring him up into turn number 3 and 4. Checkered flag is going to be out. It is going to be Mr. Crate Track USA going to Chris Curtis. Joey Scarborough finishing second. Third, John Virgillio. Fourth, Scott Duell. And rounding out your top 5 will be David Schilling.
Up through the corners here through turn 3 and 4. Double checkers going to fly this time by as they make their way down in front. Chris Curtis will hang on for the win. Curtis will get the victory as they ran a green-white checker finish. Curtis picking up the win here with 31 complete. Chris Curtis getting the victory over Joey Scarborough, coming home in the runner-up position. Scott Duell will finish in third. Fourth spot goes to John Virgillio. David Schilling rounding out your top 5. That is your top 5. Position 6 through 10 go to Robbie Knipe in 6th spot. 7th spot, Chris Lynch. Cody Hunt is 8th. 9th spot is Kevin Ward. And rounding out your top 10 is the 09 of Connor Cleveland.